Hey there everyone, it's Scott once again and welcome to another video. This time I'm going to be talking about my thoughts on the Rise of Skywalker trailer, which premiered earlier tonight around Monday Night Football during the Patriots and Jets game, and it was aired during halftime. I was curious about it, part of me was a little excited and curious, but the other part of me felt like you definitely should expect nothing less from Disney, especially how they've treated this franchise as a whole. And by the way, if you're curious, I do football-related stuff, but mainly for my team. But I do know this: the Patriots. There's no question in my mind that they're going to be in the Super Bowl since they're 7-0 now. They blew out the Jets 33-0 in that game, so that tells you, how lethal the Patriots are, not just on offense but on defense. They have like a #1 rated defense. So there you go. They're definitely going to be in the Super Bowl, or at least pretty close to it, so you can bet on that. And I just figured I'd throw that out there since a few of my relatives are Patriots fans. I'm almost from Massachusetts, so there you go. Figured I'd throw that in there. Anyway, getting back to the subject of this trailer, I'll say this: I didn't hate the trailer, but in all honesty, it was very underwhelming. It's because, these new characters, they'll probably be given something to do. I'm sure it'll be entertaining, but these new characters really have no depth to them. Especially how they were treated in The Last Jedi. I mean, I know that we were supposed to follow Rey on this journey, but this journey has basically her being the Mary Sue, being all-powerful, doing whatever she can and what she wants, and hardly being trained at all. She hasn't really earned much in the Force. I guess supposedly this film will explain that. But one of the very few things that are actually decent about this trailer, I would say, is probably the visuals. This film has a budget behind it. It should look astounding. The scenes of the second Death Star wreckage and the little lightsaber clashes that you saw were nice to look at. And the water, moving around and so forth, done very well. Seeing those Star Destroyers return is kind of nice. I'm sure it's a mixture of CGI and some practical effects. When you have stuff like that, no doubt in my mind it should definitely look astounding and stunning. So I'll give the film that. And also the music, if it's in fact John Williams' score that we heard in the trailer, it was it's done very well. And there's no question in my mind that John Williams has probably been the most consistently good thing in the sequel trilogy. He knows how to create masterful scores that has great epic moments and some solid dramatic and emotionally invested cues that he's created, and some dark moments. He's been in the business of composing music for like 40 plus years or so, like that, maybe even more. So there's no question in my mind that John Williams is definitely going to create a very masterful and emotional score to this film, especially since it's going to be the last time he's going to be scoring a Star Wars film. So there you go. And I'm also curious as to how they'll handle, the C3P, C3PO, it's kind of interesting how he's going to have, a bit of a more role in this. And even though there was a nice emotional moment, he doesn't really connect much with these new characters, because I'm guessing this is the first time that he's going to be interacting with them, because he never really previously interacted with any of the new characters in the Star Wars films. He was probably in, Last Jedi a little bit more, but he was hardly in The Force Awakens that much, so. These new characters, they just lack depth. They're not dynamic. Especially how they were treated in The Last Jedi. They weren't given much to work with. if you've at least given something to work with and have some emotional depth to them, something that's something that was heavily invested with, other than Finn, tagging along with Rose like he was just, a second fiddle and a joke. In this film, it looks like he's going to maybe at least do something a little more serious, I guess, if he's going to be doing anything at all. Same with Poe. But yeah, these new characters, excuse me, just cough, cough, cough. Yeah, that's how I feel about them. And Rey, although I wish I would have liked to seen Finn given more development in the previous one. Same with Poe. Seems like maybe this should have been, the the second one. Because here's the main problem. This sequel trilogy is just totally inconsistent with each other. It's a fucking, a one-up competition, As Jeremy said it best, it's a pissing contest where JJ set the tone. He handed it to JJ. Ryan's like, or Ruin, I should call him, Ruin Jarkov, basically said, hey, no, I'm going to do this my way. I'm going to subvert the expectations and just fucking do what I want, kill off your fucking main characters because I don't give a shit about your film. Gonna make everyone do what I say, and Kathleen was all about that. She approved of this. And in a way, technical way, JJ probably did, but he probably didn't necessarily approve of it. That's why JJ should have consistently stuck to being the director or the writer, and probably should have had a little help on that. And probably had a little supervision from Lucas himself. Because supposedly Lucas was definitely a lot more involved in this one, if it's even true. So, but yeah. And then, of course, after The Last Jedi premiere and the reception that it's got since then, JJ's like, nah, I'm gonna fucking ignore your fucking film and do my fucking movie. I'm gonna do it my way, and this is what I would have done. I would have, had certain moments of nostalgia, but I also would have, honored the character's legacy with some meaning. So yeah, there you go. But anyways, if I do end up seeing this film, I'm gonna definitely see it for super, super cheap. I want to hope that it can be a fairly decent end to the Skywalker saga, and as a Star Wars finale in the end. But some of these apparent leaks are seemingly true, unless if it's also true that 75% of this film is going to be reshot, and I don't know if that's really legitimately true, because I doubt they can reshoot 75% of this film. It just seems like lip service. So maybe that could be another interesting video I can talk about. Is it really true that 75% of this movie is going to be reshot? Otherwise, Disney knows it probably has a train wreck and it's trying to appease everyone, so who really knows. Anywho, those are my thoughts. I still will definitely see the film. I have maybe a very tiny bit of hope for it, but not much. So there you go. Here's my thoughts. Didn't hate the trailer, but overall the trailer itself will be underwhelming. And there you go. Alright folks, stay tuned for another video, and hopefully you like this video and give it a thumbs up, and if you like what you see of me, I'll definitely continue to grind out more videos as I feel up to it. So there you go. Alright, later folks.